One. What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. Today I have a very special guest, a fellow podcaster and homie from my urban farm era, Dave from the AWCW podcast. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Hey, glad to be on it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your time and your interest in coming on and opening up. We've been trying to do this for a while, and we just so happen to have a few slots open, and we finally got you on tonight. I'm excited for our conversation. Let me think. Oh yeah. So for those unfamiliar with the flow of the show, we do some intro questions to set the tone. I got a little icebreaker, which is a one-word spelling bee. Feel free to participate or not, no pressure. And then we jump into the main dish, the main portion of the interview, where you choose a number between 1 and 34, and we roll the conversation that way, and we conclude everything with a few concluding questions. Sound good to you, Dave?
Sure.
For sure. All right, man. So my very first question for you is, how have you been? I don't think we've been able to talk like this in a very long time. So you've been good. You've been going through it. How you been, man?
Life has surprisingly been good as of late. I can't complain. I'm working towards the job that I should say the next step as I continue my journey in the cannabis industry. Like, I went from security to manufacturing to driving. I was a sales rep for a sec, but that didn't work out. So now I'm back to driving, but I'm working back towards that sales rep position. And then once I get there, then I'll set the next goal.
For sure. What's it called? So how long have you been working throughout the quarantine, or were you chilling at home?
I've been hustling. Like, that's one thing about me. I've always been a hustler. I'm always making money from somewhere. Like, so I've been able to, I've been really lucky and really blessed.
For sure. My second question for you is, what would you like your descendants to know about you? The way I frame it is, if you were going to reach out to the 5 generations down the road and they're wondering what their ancestors are like, what would you want them to know about you?
That's actually a really good question. I would want them to know that I always got back up. That no matter how hard life hit me, I always got back up.
For sure. When you first said, like, I got back up, I thought you meant like, oh, I got people behind me. But now I understand. Yeah.
It goes back to like one of my favorite Macho Man quotes. He says, sometimes in life you get knocked down, you get up, you take the stand you need, and you get back into the fight.
No doubt.
And that's one thing I've always managed to do.
What's that energy that you have to help you get back up? Because a lot of people get knocked down. Oh, you're good. But what kind of energy, or what inspires you to get back up, is what I'm trying to say.
To be honest, I think it's a little bit that I'm an asshole sometimes at times, and giving up is just something that's not in me.
For sure.
Like, even in times when I've wanted to give up, there's like, you ever watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yeah, I have. Like
that moment where like everything slows down to him, and all he heard was dude's voice and just yelling "fight."
Yeah.
That's literally what I hear. Like, that moment, I'm like, fuck it. There's that voice that says, "No, fucking fight."
Damn.
And I get up and I fucking fight.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Thank you for opening up. I don't even think back in the urban farm. I was a quiet dude when I was working there too, so I didn't have these conversations with you yet. But yeah, thank you for opening up. My third question for you is, how would you like to be honored? You know, if I was gonna say, you know, today I'm gonna do something for Dave, you know, what kind of act could I do to honor you?
To be honest, just be nice to somebody. Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Is like, even no matter like how bad of a day, like I do my best just to not be a, how you say, a burden, an asshole, you know, just some random person. Like, it was funny. Like, just yesterday, I went to my favorite taco truck and ordered my meal, and, you know, gave the girl, it was like 16, 17 bucks, and I gave her the money. And then when she handed me back, I looked like I didn't see it at first because I took it quick and put it in my pocket, but it was something weird about the money. So I'm like, all right. So I ate, and then as I checked, she had gave me back the 20 that I gave her.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I could be like, oh shoot, I got a free meal. But I'm like, nah, this is like my first time seeing her here. Like, I think she's new, and it's, you know, it'd be shitty to come up $20 short on your register. Yeah. So I left. I handed it when I was like, you know, you pay me too much. She's like, oh, you know, it's cool. You know, have a nice day. But, you know,
yeah.
You know, you don't want to. You know, that could get her fired or something like that, or nothing could happen. But I just don't want something like that.
Yeah.
On my mind.
I'm gonna cut that out. But yeah, this fucking. Excuse me, but yeah, man. So just a random, just act kind, and
random acts of kindness.
For sure. You ever done the drive-through miracle?
I've wanted to be a part of one of those, but I guess it just don't happen at the places that I frequent.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things I used to do. Like, remember we used to do the dollar dabs at Urban?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I would go up there and drop a 20 and be like, next 20 people, like next 10 people, you know, free dabs. Damn.
I don't think I worked in when you did that, but that's a great idea. Shoot, like that's like buying a round for everybody for
pretty
$1.
Much. That's literally serious. Like, it's $20. Like, I'm going to that off anyway with something. Might as well make somebody's day.
Yeah, man, that's a great experience. I'm sure you had a bunch of tourists just be like, "Oh my god, this place is crazy."
That was all the time. Like, every time, like, "You're the guy who bought the dabs that one night." I was like, "Yeah, oh, it was so awesome!" Like thank you.
For sure.
I mean, that's the one thing I missed about Urban Farms. That lounge. You met interesting people.
No, you did. Yeah, I wish I had been more active in getting to know people while I was there, but I was just too caught up in my own shit. But but yeah, there's a lot of characters in that place. I wish I could get them all on here, man. I want to get freaking Mr. Nixon or the magician guy on here. give some stories. I miss his magic, man. But yeah. God.
I miss my man Harry.
Oh, Harry, yeah, shout out Harry, man. I need to get him on here too. There's a lot of folks. I know you've still been able to keep in touch with most folks through the Smokeout Zoom calls. Is there one this week?
I actually got to hit Chris up about it. He usually doesn't like Wednesdays or Thursdays. But I don't know. I think something might be going on. I might. Shoot. I might be able to host one. Like it's crazy. Like, I gotta go to. Apparently, I found out today that I might have to go down to SoCal Friday for a run.
Damn.
420's coming up. It's a big event.
Yeah, no, that's a busy time for sure. This is like the New Year's for all the cannabis smokers.
Well, for sure.
What's it called? My fourth question for you, man, is how well do you know yourself? And if it's hard to put in words, you could do a scale from 1 to 10.
I think I know myself about. I'll give myself about an 8.
For sure. Why an 8?
Well, it's just experience of everything I've gone through. Like I said, taking those lumps in life, coming back, you at a certain point, you have to know yourself. You have to know what you're capable of.
I feel that. Yeah. I mean, I just turned 31 soon, and those hard lines for myself are starting to appear. The things that I feel like I'm not even interested in that at all. So why should I even, spend my time on it? My bad. My video is frozen, but I'm coming back on right now.
No problem.
Yeah. But yeah, those hard lines are appearing, and I'm finally figuring out the stuff that I really want to do versus the stuff that I was just kind of doing because of the people I was with at the time. But we all move and progress. You gonna say something?
Yeah, like the craziest thing is, like, I remember I podcasted early. Like, my first podcast was this wrestling podcast called the AWWIR, All Wrestling Week in Review. And the cool thing about like this podcast was like you can go there and give your talking point about whatever happened in wrestling. But then you had guys who were really doing production and, had really like professional sounding reports and stuff like that. And then you can come with characters and stuff like that. Like, I tried a lot of things. Like I started calling in on the tip line. Like the 800 number, like you got 90 seconds to say your piece. And then I was able to use my phone to make MP3s, make it sound a little bit better. And like, that's how I got. Like, I grinded and like I learned that. I started making my own calls up, my own characters. Like, I really enjoyed it. I wish I would have, I really wish I would have stuck with it. But, a lot of things happen. I think, it helped me a lot, especially after my brother passed away. Because it's crazy. I found the cannabis industry kind of late. But he was if he was still alive, he would love the fact that I was in the industry, because that's what we bonded over.
No doubt.
We used to get high, watch wrestling videos, fucking play video games, watch anime.
Yeah.
So that's how I grew up. And my other brother, who passed away just recently, that's what we all bonded over. Like, we were in high school, we were collecting Dragon Ball Z tapes.
The VHS ones, or
the VHS ones, the ones that if you stand them up, they form a picture of the bad guy or that saga's villain.
I remember.
We used to go to Rasputin's and search through the foreign and anime sections for tapes.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yo, man, this is something I've never known about you. So yeah, thanks for opening up. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know it. Those were the things you're going through or have gone through.
Yeah. Well, that's the part of the reason why I do the podcast, because those are the things I bonded with my brothers over. And then when I was doing the wrestling podcast, a lot of the guys that's when the Marvel movie started to come out. So a lot of us guys were talking about those movies because they found out they're also comic book fans.
Yeah.
And then comic books and wrestling share similar storytelling devices. So it all just feeds into the other.
No, that's true. That's true. I can see that. Did you have any last things to add?
What was that?
Did you have anything else to add to that before we moved on? Oh, for sure. So we made it to the icebreaker portion, which is the one word spelling bee. You down to participate, or you cool off it?
Let's go for it.
All right, for sure. Your word is guarantee. Money back guarantee.
So I just spell it with just one letter at a time?
Yeah, go for it. You got 2 chances, so.
G A U N T E D.
So you got one more chance, and it's not with the D at the end. I'll tell you that. It's like guarantee, not guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So G A U N T E.
So close, man. You were missing an R in there. Guaranteed. But yeah. Thank you for participating, man. You know, I'm trying to work out all these other game show ideas down the road. So I'll definitely hit you up for like some kind of Jeopardy type game or trivia game. Like I'm trying to work that out in my mind, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks for participating, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, we made it to the main portion, the main dish of the podcast. Go ahead and shoot a number to me.
Let's go with 24 for Kobe.
Kobe, shout out Cobes. What do you think society should prioritize to fix in the world?
Racism.
Tell me more.
Because if you fix racism, you fix a lot of the reasonings why a lot of these companies, organizations, and other factors use their power to basically not care about these people.
Mm.
If it's easy to dehumanize them, it's just easy to just look at them as a problem on the board. You know, that's why we have areas like with conflict diamonds. Like, diamonds are one of the most abundant resources on this planet, and it's crazy the racket that they've created.
Yeah.
For a gem. And then not just that, but I feel that if we're wasting, like when I see things about wasting food and all that type of stuff going on, and I hear about people starving, it makes no sense. Because if we're wasting so much food, why are people fucking starving? That makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone has to pay.
I got you. What do you think? This is hard, but what do you think would be like the first step? Is it awareness? Because I feel like we're pretty damn aware that racism exists.
We need to be in the action phase. Like, we can hope change comes in the government by voting, but you see the result. Like, democracy wins and a group of motherfuckers comes through and it's like, whoa. We said y'all had a choice, but only when you were choosing what we wanted you to pick.
Yeah. That's true. Do you think that's the biggest hurdle? Is like, getting that change in the government first? Because I feel like there's the small town government, right, where yeah, you're the mayor of a small city, and like you might not have all the resources, but the way you choose to lead, the decisions that you make can affect the city that you're mayor of. But I think, as you know, the higher you go up the ladder, the harder it is to like get everybody in agreement that you shouldn't be treating each other that way.
Well, yeah, like it should go back to some of those small towns, because like if the police know you're kind of less likely to do the crime, or at least they're understanding or less likely to shoot you. No. Like the mindset of a lot of these cops is that they're going into a war zone. But what I find funny is that when our troops go into a war zone, they can't do a quarter of the damage a police officer can do. Like, you cannot be a Marine, go into an area and shoot up a whole entire village because you were scared someone might have shot at you.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have to be shot upon before you can shoot back. But our police don't even have that. Don't have that restraint. They can pull the trigger first, ask questions second, and get off because their boys are in the system.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping they get rid of qualified immunity, because now you have to think twice. I want you to think twice when you pull that trigger. I don't care as a cop if that might fuck with you. Stop being a cop.
What's qualified immunity?
Qualified immunity is what allows police to kill people, and as long as they're in the line of duty of their job, they can't be held liable.
Yeah.
So if I'm a cop, I'm shooting, I'm following a suspect, I can fire, shoot, and kill 5 innocent people along with him, and nothing will happen to me because it was all in the act of my job. It's the shit action movies is literally built off of. Because no cop can go burning through the city, blowing shit up, and not go to fucking jail.
I got you. Did it already pass? Is that in effect, or is that gonna?
No, it's still a debate going on. Like, there's some cities that have gotten rid of that. Like, I know there's a couple. I read that there was a few cities that has implemented that for their cops. Like, they are no longer protected under qualified immunity.
Gotcha.
Which is a step forward. Well, but until that happens in like major cities and stuff like that, But there will be pushback.
No doubt. How much progress do you feel like you'll be able to witness when it comes to racism in your lifetime? Is there going to be much of a difference, or is it, going to be, no difference? And like, it's just too far. Changes are going to happen too far ahead of time that we won't be able to see it or feel the effects of it.
Well, I feel actually we're at a real interesting time about that. Like, right now with the George Floyd case, that's a huge turning point of a case. That's like, years ago, the OJ verdict, and like everybody is watching to see where this goes. Like, we know there's only one logical conclusion, but there's also that idea of just how the fuck are they gonna justify and pull this bullshit off?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is nothing new. Like, white men have been killing black men on camera for years and getting away with it. Like just think back, was it almost 30 years ago now? 25, 30 years? Rodney King?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he literally, that's one of the first instances of getting that on camera, other than it being shown on TV back when back when the police were attacking protesters with dogs and water cannons. Like, that was 6 o'clock news. We out here abusing our power, but who's gonna stop us? No one. We moved to Rodney King, literally beat the crap out of a man on camera, and everybody walked away.
Yeah.
It's just escalated over the years to now where you can literally, like, oh, I can't even. I swear to God, half the time I can't even remember the people's names, because by the time I remember it, another a name is up there.
Yeah, man. I've noticed that too. I mean, for me, that's what makes my mindset like so solemn. You know, it's like I could wake up tomorrow and there's another person. You know, and it's just like whatever I put out there on social media is not going to change much. You know, whatever I like go out and protest, it's not going to change much, man. It gets more frustrating. Like, what do you see being that tipping point or release, you know? Because I mean, I hate to say, like, you know, aggression is the answer, but I think there has to be some aggressiveness in the right avenues, right, to make change, or at least, you know, take this thing seriously and stop like fucking, you know, sticking to the old ways.
Well, yeah. My thing is this: we know how far they will take their aggression. There is no limit. There is no, oh no, we're stopping here. It's whatever gets the job done. I say democracy has worked perfectly, because you have a group of people who knows the problem, recognize who's the problem, but somehow has created just a small little level of doubt that they get to skate by on. Like, what's going on now with the Asian community? What's fucked up about that is, like, it was in terms of how the world works, it was a real fucked up move on their part. Like, because every group has faced their own kind of special individualized racism. All done by the same basic person. But you know, that was the great thing about the plan. Everybody got their own special. Like, one of the greatest joys I had when I started working on getting my African American Studies degree is I took a couple of La Raza Studies classes, and I learned their history and everything they were going through. Because, like, if you truly paint what was going, like, we look at history as this linear thing, like, you know, and this happened at this time and this happened, and then, like, there's a lot of blank spots. What's crazy is that in those blank spots, there's a lot of fucked up shit that was going on. Like, well, what was it, like, how Mexico and California and all that shit was taken, like the whole fucking bullshit I learned about what was it, Remember the Alamo?
Yeah.
It's funny, it's a crazy theme I noticed. Like, they go in, they fuck with the people, get their ass whooped, run away, and then come back in greater numbers. And it's a repeating fucking cycle, because, like, when I learned about that, then at the same time, you learn Columbus literally did the same fucking plan. Landed on the thing, claimed the motherfuckers fucked with him up, went back to fucking Spain, and then came back with a whole bunch of more ships and nearly wiped out a whole entire population. Yeah. Like, it's this reoccurring theme that you see all through history. Like one of the craziest things I learned was ancient Aztec cultures.
Yeah.
They got their weapons from Africans. Africans was trading with Aztec cultures years before Columbus ever thought of going across the ocean. Like, it's crazy when you learn what goes on in history. or those blank spots starts to get filled in. So you understand, like, as blacks are going through this here, at the same time, our Mexican brothers and sisters going through shit on their end, and Chinese are immigrating and going through their shit on there as they coming into like ports like San Francisco. So it's all this mixed bag of everybody's getting their own special blend of racist white shit.
Yeah.
Which reminds, like, if you ever want to watch a cool ass show, my boy turned me on to it. It's called Warrior.
Yeah, I've seen that one with it's the Bruce Lee writings, right? It's not Bruce Lee's story, but he wrote the story.
Yeah. My boy turned me on to it. I seen a couple episodes. I gotta finish it. That's pretty badass.
No doubt. Like, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but someone describes it as like Game of Thrones-ish, you know, because there's so many moving pieces and people involved. But yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes as well.
That's that format, all the different factions and stuff. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I thought like just a big cast, you know, with so many different characters that all tie in. I'm with that stuff too. But you know, I've never been like I don't know what genre is Lord of the Rings, would you say? And Game of Thrones.
I think that's in the fantasy, the how I say the magical fantasy area.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, even though it has magical elements, it's more like their magic is more, I say, not wizards and stuff like that. It's more like the darker side of it.
I got you. That fantasy world stuff, I don't know why it takes me a long time to get into it. I remember I didn't like Harry Potter until I was like a lot older, and I was like, oh shit, now I get the hype, you know. So
I didn't get this shit at first, but you know, to be honest, I really didn't like Harry Potter when it first came out. But you know what got me?
What?
The Quidditch.
The Quidditch?
Hey, bro, like, I remember I was at the house. My brother was watching the DVD, and I was kind of just playing around, messing around. Wasn't paying attention. Then the Quidditch match came on. I was like, "Oh, this shit is fucking balls!" Like, fuck, nigga. I want to go back to school and play. I'm just going there to play Quidditch.
Yeah.
Like, those are one of my favorite scenes in all the Harry Potters.
The Quidditch games. Now I remember when I seen like the first Quidditch in the first movie was like, whatever, it's small time. But then when I saw when they were like, I guess seniors or something in the school, I was like, oh shit, this is what like the championship is like, you know, where it's a little more. I guess they had the bigger budget too to make it look sick. But I was definitely like, drawn into that as well.
Well, I kind of wish they would make a current gen Harry Potter Quidditch game. I'll play that shit.
Yeah, I would too, man. I think did you ever play the old one, the PlayStation one?
No, that was terrible. Like, the closest thing I do remember playing to Quidditch was Final Fantasy X, was it Blitzball? Or whatever, the swimming soccer mixed with swimming, like, that's the closest thing I can get to Quidditch.
I don't think I've played that. Yeah.
You're like three-dimensionally moving around, like, it was fun.
For sure. I'm gonna have to check that out. I mean, you still play video games, or you know?
Yeah. That's one thing. Like, I used to play them hardcore. Now, like, sometimes, like, if my friends are on, like, right now I'm like playing like Call of Duty Zombies. So because like it's just one of those games I can really just, like, if I'm really trying to just zone out and chill, I can just murder zombies all day.
Yeah, man. I don't know how it is now. I used to play it when, you know, you could go to Nuketown, the farm, were like the two maps that I always played zombies at, because, you know, they had the mystery box. Always went for the mystery box.
They've gotten really involved with it now. Like, they got a whole little new mode where you jump from the area to areas and fight zombies that pops up. It's a whole open world now.
Oh,
so you got these cars, and they're like, yeah, like they really take it to the next level.
For sure. I'm gonna. Yeah. Is that like a special edition Call of Duty, or I could just?
No, like how Call of Duty always runs. Like when you get Call of Duty, you get everything. So you get the zombie game, you get the campaign, and you get the multiplayer. Like they just release it all together.
Would you say it's worth just buying for the zombie? Or...
Well, like that's all I play it for. Like that's how much I love it. Like if I could just buy the zombie, I'd probably do that. But they will never. It's like it's the package deal.
No, I
like
got
if you want one, you gotta buy them all.
And that's how they get you, man. They make the regular 450. They make the large 475. You know.
No, but I've always been the type of gamer that plays everything. So I play the campaign as well. So I can get because I don't know how you say the term achievement hunter.
I got you. So you like doing all the missions? Like when you play other open roaming games, you like doing side missions and getting that completion rate?
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I don't try to go too deep. Like if some of the more harder stuff, I'll leave it. I'm not gonna waste my time.
No, I think, man, you ever played what's that one game? It's called Saints Row 2. Yeah, man. I think that was the closest I ever got to completing like everything. During college, I was just like, fuck it, I want to do this.
But Saints Row was a fun ass. Saints Row was like as Grand Theft Auto got a little bit more, more serious. Saints Row took the idea and just went fucking let's just do the most craziest shit possible. Let's like no limits. We're like everywhere they're not. That's where we're gonna go.
Dude, did you play the latest one? It's like Saints Row 4.
Yeah, I played them all.
Yeah, and when they started like giving you superpowers, I was like, what the fuck? This is sick.
It's like they were like, screw it, just anything is possible right now.
Yeah, we want.
That's why I loved it. Like it was just complete insanity.
I hope they come out with another. I know they will. They have to. There's too much money to be made. Just the hype around it would be like, oh man, you tired of GTA 5? Because GTA 5's been around like forever. Here's a Saints Row.
Talk about staying power as a game. Like that's the one thing I've always respected as Rockstar as a company. Like they make a really solid game.
They do. And like, how many titles do they currently have out right now? I've been looking forward to the Bully, the next chapter, Bully, dude.
Like I like the whole remakes. Like, can you give us a sequel? Like,
yeah,
Bully 2. Like I'm hating the fact that everyone is now doing remakes. Like, no one is trying to make a new game. Like, I think that's why Resident Evil 8 is going over so well, because it's the first new game we've seen. Like I was telling my brother today, I was like, there's a bunch of zombie games coming down the pipeline. Like Dead Island 2 is supposed to be coming out sometime. They keep saying the end of this year. Was it Back 4 Blood is coming out? That's Left 4 Dead's literal spiritual sister.
Yeah.
Like Left 4 Dead is my favorite zombie game of all time.
Well, what does that make it the favorite?
It was the fact that it was a very simple premise. You're part of the survivors, pick up some weapons and fight your way through. But what made it really cool was that they created this thing called the director system, that each time you played that game, it was never the same. So if you played that level 20 times, it's 20 different experiences each time.
Wow, I had no idea it was like that.
So like if you went out there might be enemies in one area that was there one time or a couple of times, and the next time there might not. There might just be one big enemy. Like it always is coming up with new ways to run the map.
I got you. Did you ever play those Telltale games?
Yeah, I played the Walking Dead one.
How was that experience? I only played the Batman ones because I was, into that shit. But yeah, how was the Walking Dead ones?
It interesting. Like it was cool because it wasn't how you say directly related to the it was more true to the comic.
Oh, yeah.
So it was his own characters. It followed this girl named Clementine. She lost her parents, and then this dude, was kind of looking after her for her, but then like you were kind of playing him. Then he ends up getting bit and dies, and then the story goes on from there. But like it was really cool. It was like back in the day when I was younger, when you had those choose your own adventure books.
Yeah.
So, but that was in video game form, and like I've seen, like, and it wasn't like that new because there was those aspects in other video games I played before, kill the guy, don't or whatever. Like I can't remember any game in specific, but I remember there was a lot of games like that back in like PS1 and PS2 times.
Yeah.
The whole multiple ending thing.
I enjoy that a lot, actually. You watch Black Mirror?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Did you do the choose your own adventure episode?
No, I missed out on that one. I really should have did that one.
No, I mean you still got a chance. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
If you look it up, it's actually separate. They have Black Mirror. You click on Black Mirror, all the seasons come up. This one is just like its own like movie or whatever. So it's not.
Yeah, I remember, was it Bandersnatch or something like that?
It was Bandersnatch. Yeah. About this guy who is like in the beginning of video games and then needs to make a video game. So it was interesting. I like the attempt. I don't know how hard something like that is to shoot because you gotta basically do one script and then switch it up and pick it up another way. But it was a good time. It was fun to do with friends, just because like, especially if no one's done it before, you don't know how the ending works out. I just wish they expanded it more. Like I felt like the clips after the choice, it was short. I wish it could be longer, but you'll see what I mean whenever you get a chance to check it out.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just remember there's another game that just came out that played with. I think it was called Mirrors or something like that. And all I remember it had the dude who played Iceman from the X-Men movies. He was the main character in that game.
What? That's a like he was the voice behind it.
No, they did the whole motion capture thing. Like that's the big thing in video games now. Is like now video games is hiring actors to do motion capture for the CGI.
Wow, because I mean, everybody raves about that stuff, the presentation, the immersion. So they gotta step it up in that way too.
Oh yeah, video games are going through this weird thing where like games like Fortnite is ruling the fucking sphere.
Yeah.
So everybody is trying to make the next Fortnite when you should be focusing on making something not Fortnite.
I mean, they're trying to make what makes money. They see the example, like that's what they're gonna do. I haven't heard too much about microtransactions lately. I felt like there was like I know it still happens, but I felt like there was like this whole thing about, beware or don't support, companies that do all these microtransactions. That's a lie. I have bought microtransactions before, just for like, it's $5. I can spare that for like a leg up in composition. But yeah.
I've done my share of microtransaction, and that's mostly a lot of times with games that I find that are free. Like I play Dauntless, like I'll buy the season pass or stuff like that, or like when I play Apex, I'll buy that season, their season pass, just because it's like swag and other stuff. But like things to get legs up on competition and stuff like boost, doesn't really matter.
No. I feel it. Yo man, I just want to let you know we got about 10-15 minutes left in the podcast. We've been kind of breezing by, through good conversation. So just wanted to give you a heads up. And yeah man, I mean I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too.
I'm having a ball.
For sure. Go ahead and throw me another number.
8.
What's been on your mind lately?
Just creating content. Like one of the major things I'm doing is like the wall that's been keeping me from doing more was just my own self-editing.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, and like people don't know how many like I do like my Twisted Eats episode. You don't know how many doesn't even make the cut.
Yeah.
Like I will do everything and then be like, I'm not liking this, and just leave it right there for one reason or another. Now I've just shifted to like, don't worry about being perfect, just get in the flow.
Yeah, no doubt. Is that Twisted Eats the new thing you're kind of incorporating into your media platform?
Well, yeah, it's just the idea just came to me one day. Like I always like just being a driver and going around. I'm always trying to find a good place to eat. Sometimes I'm not always trying to go for fast food. So, also I wanted to highlight my boy Will, who does Foul Fare. Like I've been following this dude, like, because I met him at Urban.
Oh shit!
He used to make the affordable Thai stick. And then we exchanged Instagrams, and like I was looking at his IG all the time. I was like, bro, you speak to the fat dude and the stoner in me. But yeah, like not only does he rolled this amazing Thai stick, but he was also an awesome chef. Like he had a cafe over in on First Street. I used to go stop by when he was first testing out his his fried chicken sandwich idea. I used to go there and get to be one of the early testers.
That's what's up. Yeah. For sure. I was gonna say if there's any way I can like maybe create a collab logo. I would love to support as hella hungry, any way that I can for that. So I gotta start reaching out to people for those kind of things, because that's and just hopefully I'll if I pay for a meal, you could say, oh, this video is sponsored by Hella Hungry or something. You feel me? We can make it work out that way.
Yeah, like I'm always trying to like I tell people all the time about like I'm the type of person that like if I'm good with you, but like I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm always gonna put you on.
No doubt, man. I mean, same here, and I definitely appreciate it. I know you were one of my early supporters out there in Urban Farm as well, for Hella Hungry, and it's not dead. I know, like some people might say, like, what's happening with it, but it's just taking a back seat. I gotta reformulate.
It's on the back burner right now.
Yeah, it's not dead though, not dead. Go ahead and throw me one last number.
17.
Do you believe in magic?
Yes.
Like what kind of magic? Like the magician magic, illusionist magic, or like that dark magic?
I believe in all three. They all require some skill or another. Trickery and card. That's a form of magic, and also I do believe in spiritual magic and black magic and things like that.
Yeah, man, I feel you. You ever mess with a Ouija board?
Once when I was a kid.
You remember that experience? You mind talking about that experience? Because I've done it too, but it's very small handful of people who've ever really tried it.
When we did it, it was the middle of the day. It was broad daylight, so it wasn't spooky at all.
Okay.
My friends were trying to lock me into. I think we were in some type of old garage. They closed the door and locked it on me. So I had fun when I started smashing the doors and making hella sounds and stuff. Hyping it.
Yeah.
I remember my mom damn shit a brick when she found out about it.
No, man. And you did it in your house or your friend's house?
No, it was was somewhere in the neighborhood. Like that was back in the day when kids just ran around the neighborhood and just
Okay.
hung out in random spots.
I got you. For sure. I mean, so it was just you guys kind of like hyping it up? Then nothing crazy happened?
Nah.
All right, for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, my experience was kind of crazy a little bit, but it turned out that it was one of us moving the piece on the board. All right, man. We basically reached the concluding portion of the podcast. Got a few more questions to run with you.
All right.
So this question, I've been trying to find a way to connect my guests from podcast to podcast. So I asked my previous guests what question they would like to ask my next guest, which is you. And there's actually 2 guests in that podcast. So you choose A or B. And if you want me to choose, I'll just choose for you.
Let's go with B.
All right. It is, what makes you different?
My personality.
Tell me more.
How you say, what you see is not always what you get. Like, I've noticed a lot of people know me, but a lot of people don't know who I am.
I see what you mean. Why would you say it's because your walls are up, or
Well, like I've said, like I've had this phase when I've said, when my friend asked me what comic book character I identify with the most, and I had to say Dr. Manhattan. Like, I'm this guy who's been lucky enough to live this life where I'm connected to all these different universes, but at the same time, it comes with the price of I'm connected, but sometimes I'm far out, so I'm forgotten about in some cases. It's not like I have a set group of friends who I see every day and hang out with them daily and stuff like that. Like, one day I can be hanging out at Urban Farm, the next day I can be in San Ramon sitting in some business meeting because my friend is running, I'm helping out. So, like, it's a double-edged sword. I get to meet a lot of people. A lot of people get to know me, but I don't get to really spend that one-on-one time with people that much.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, man, and I don't think you're alone in that feeling. I think I watched a lot of media growing up, a lot of TV shows where they showed me, middle-aged white people being friends for life, and for some reason that sucks to me. It's like, oh man, that's what I want in my 30s, but it was very unrealistic, and I think now, like, you're just talking about that one-on-one like experience. I feel sad sometimes to think that I can't connect with people. I connect with you on this show, and like we talk about, we have good conversation, and outside of this show, it's always gonna be hard for me to to have that time to continue to do this on a regular basis. It's always I feel guilty about that sometimes. It's like because I know I want to connect more, and I but there's only so much time that we have, and so much energy we can spend, and it's not that I don't want to do that, getting to know folks or staying in touch with them, but there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? But yeah, and also, man,
now we're forced to work and do more stuff, and it gives us less time to create those bonds and those connections. Like, your work family becomes your friends because you're pretty much going through hell together.
Yeah, man, that shared trauma is like the greatest glue. I think that's what somebody said, but that's the truth, man. Like, if you don't have your friends that you can see more than twice a week, it's your friends are your work friends. You see them, every day for 8 hours, and that was something I think special that we had at Urban Farm, and you were a part of that too.
We've been through this hell together.
Yeah. But I also wanted to mention, man, just know you won't be forgotten, on this end. I know how that feels, but I also try my best to remember, and just know I'm putting that effort in on this end.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing you learn. You have to, how you say, no one is going to save you. You're going to have to save yourself.
Yeah, man, that is very true. And this next question is, what would you like to ask the next guest that comes on?
Ooh, I got a good one. If you had Superman's powers for a day, would you be a superhero or a supervillain?
Ooh, okay. Man, I feel like I could get away with a lot of stuff for that next day when I don't have powers. But yeah, I feel that. I'm with it. All right, man. And my very last question for you is, what is the greatest lesson you've learned thus far in your life?
Greatest lesson I learned is you can never be too busy for a friend.
I feel that. It's like it's a rough way to put it, but sometimes it's like, it's not that you don't have time, it's because you don't make time. And it's, whew. I don't know if you ever had that told to you before, but it's just like, oh shit, I really fucked up. But yeah, man. Say that one more time. You said you're never too.
You can never be too busy for a friend.
For sure. Just wanted to make sure the people out there heard that twice. But yeah, man. Before we head out, is there anything you wanted to put out there? Your plugs, your shout outs. Go for it.
I just want to give a big shout out to my employer, Buddy Indoor Cannabis. We are taking over. We are going to be the best company out there, hands down. And whatever, we want the smoke. I shouldn't be bragging and talking mess, but that's how much I believe and I love this company I'm with now. Check out my podcast, the AWCW podcast. There's going to be a whole lot more content coming out. Also, follow me, the Twizted King Savage. Other than that, you guys take care. God bless. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, man. Once again, Dave, thank you for your time, your energy, your openness to come onto the podcast. I feel like I got to know you a lot better, and thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for all the folks out there who tuning in, checking this out. Appreciate y'all as well. And yeah, man, I've been still trying to figure out a good signature for the way I end these things. Haven't gotten it yet, but